After more than half a century of undisturbed slumber, the final resting place of Audie Murphy, America's most decorated soldier and celebrated Hollywood icon, underwent a transformation that rippled through history, stirring up long-dormant secrets and forcing a re-evaluation of a legend. For 54 years, his grave stood as a sacred monument, untouched, a testament to a life of unparalleled bravery and sacrifice. But in the quiet earth beneath that marker lay truths that, when unearthed, sent shockwaves through the world. This wasn't just about revisiting the past. This was about confronting buried realities, challenging established narratives, and grappling with the complex legacy of a man who carried the weight of a nation's hopes and horrors on his young shoulders. What emerged from the shadows of Audie Murphy's tomb wasn't just history. It was a gauntlet thrown down to the present, a test of our willingness to confront uncomfortable truths and re-examine the stories we tell ourselves about our heroes. The initial announcement from Arlington officials in early 2025 spoke of a routine gravesite restoration. Seemingly mundane, yet shrouded in an air of unusual secrecy, the project raised eyebrows from the outset. No press allowed, cameras forbidden, heavy military oversight at every turn. Why such intense measures for what was ostensibly a simple repair? As workers delved deeper than expected, a palpable tension filled the air. The earth surrendered its secrets grudgingly, layer by layer, until an unrecorded, weathered metal container saw the light of day for the first time in decades. It was what lay within this forgotten vessel that sent tremors through the historical landscape. Inside, 3 astonishing artifacts lay cradled in the earth's embrace. First, a faded combat division patch, a silent emblem of Murphy's service, a tangible link to the brutal battlefields of Europe. Then, a mysterious medal, unlike any seen before, adorned with unfamiliar symbols that hinted at a hidden chapter in Murphy's life. But it was the third item that truly seized the world's attention, a handwritten letter bearing the unmistakable signature of Audie Murphy himself. This wasn't a farewell note to loved ones. This wasn't a soldier's mundane report. This was something far more profound, far more unsettling. The letter contained a chilling message penned in Murphy's own hand. Speaking of operations never officially acknowledged, missions so deeply classified that the men involved were sworn to live and die in silence, their very existence erased from the annals of history. He described shadow campaigns, where victory was measured not in medals or glory, but in the absolute assurance of secrecy. Failure in these clandestine operations meant not merely death, but complete obliteration from record, a fate worse than oblivion. The confession threatened to rewrite our understanding of Murphy's service, to peel back the layers of heroism and reveal the dark underbelly of war. And yet, the most haunting section of the letter had little to do with combat at all. Murphy warned of a future, a time when America's greatest danger would not come from foreign armies or external threats, but from within. He cautioned that a nation that forgets the pain, the sacrifice, and the scars carried by its heroes is a nation destined to crumble. Courage alone, he wrote, cannot save a country that abandons those who have bled for it. His words echoed with the weight of prophecy, as though he foresaw a test of memory and honor yet to come. The discovery of the mysterious medal only deepened the enigma. Its unfamiliar insignia ignited a flurry of speculation. Was it proof of Murphy's involvement in Cold War missions, so secret they were never logged? Or did it represent something even darker? An unacknowledged alliance, a covert group erased from the public record? Whatever its true meaning, the medal remained a tantalizing puzzle, a silent testament to secrets untold. Despite the military's attempts to control the narrative, news of the discovery inevitably leaked, spreading like wildfire through the digital age. The world erupted with questions. Why was this container buried beneath his grave, locked away for over half a century? What secrets did Audie Murphy carry to his final rest? And most unsettling of all, was his death truly the tragic accident history had recorded? For years, the official story of the 1971 plane crash had been accepted without question. But now, in the light of Murphy's buried letter and the mysterious relics, long-dormant suspicions resurfaced with renewed intensity. Witnesses near the crash site recalled inconsistencies, odd details that had been easily dismissed in the past, wreckage scattered far from the main impact, flight paths that didn't align. sudden radio silence with no clear cause. Were these mere coincidences, or were they pieces of a larger, more sinister puzzle? Had America's most decorated soldier truly perished in a tragic accident? Or had he been silenced, his secrets buried with him, only to be unearthed more than 50 years later, challenging the very foundations of his legendary status? The silent grave had finally begun to speak, and the world was forced to listen. The secrets buried with Audie Murphy demanded to be heard, forcing a reckoning with a past far more complex and unsettling than we ever imagined. In the vast, sun-drenched landscape of Texas, where opportunity seemed as scarce as water in a drought, Audie Leon Murphy was born on June 20th, 1925. His story isn't just one of a war hero, it's a tale of escaping the crushing grip of poverty. He didn't come from privilege or a family of means. He clawed his way from the bottom, from a life that seemed destined for obscurity. Imagine a small, weather-beaten shack, barely standing against the relentless Texas winds. That was home, a home where food was scarce and survival was a daily battle. His parents, Emmett and Josie Murphy, struggled to provide for their 12 children, scratching a living from a hardscrabble existence as sharecroppers. Emmett, a restless and often absent figure, would disappear for long stretches, leaving Josie, a woman of incredible strength and resilience, to shoulder the burden of raising their large family alone. Josie was the bedrock, the unwavering force that held the family together amidst constant hardship. But even her strength couldn't erase the gnawing hunger or the backbreaking labor that defined Audie's early years. Childhood for Audie was a luxury he couldn't afford. By the age of 10, he was already working in the cotton fields, his small frame bent under the weight of responsibility. School became a distant dream. He left after the 5th grade, dedicating himself to helping his mother keep the family afloat. He became adept at hunting to help feed the family and took on any other odd jobs he could find. These early hardships weren't just about survival. They were forging the steel within him, the unyielding spirit that would later define his actions on the battlefield. Now, picture this, a skinny, almost frail-looking teenager, barely tipping the scales at 110 pounds. That was Audie when he tried to enlist in the military. He was driven by a burning desire to escape the cycle of poverty and, perhaps, a yearning for something greater than the life he knew. The war raging across the globe offered a chance, a purpose. But there was a major hurdle. He was underage. Refusing to be deterred, Audie did what he had to do. He fudged his birth date, convincing recruiters that he was old enough to serve. His older sister, Corinne, helped provide a forged birth certificate stating he was a year older than he actually was. It was a bold move, a testament to his unwavering determination. He looked older than his years, hardened by life's harsh realities. Against all odds, he was accepted into the U.S. Army, but the challenges didn't end there. Initially, he was rejected by both the Marines and paratroopers due to his small stature. Even after enlisting, many saw him as an unlikely soldier, a scrawny kid who wouldn't last a week in combat. They underestimated the fire that burned within him, the resilience forged in the crucible of poverty. After basic training, he was assigned to the 3rd Infantry Division and shipped off to North Africa. He saw his first combat in the invasion of Sicily. He was initially a supply clerk and messenger, but he wanted to be on the front lines. Slowly, meticulously, he proved them wrong. He wasn't just surviving, he was excelling. He learned quickly, adapting to the brutal realities of war with an almost preternatural instinct. He fought in some of the most intense battles of the European theater. From the invasion of Italy to the liberation of France and the push into Germany, he was a natural leader, inspiring his fellow soldiers with his courage and unwavering resolve. He earned battlefield promotions, rising through the ranks from private to lieutenant. But the war wasn't just about bravery and medals. It was about witnessing unimaginable horrors, enduring constant fear, and carrying the weight of responsibility for the lives of his men. With each battle, each victory, Audie Murphy was building a legendary reputation. His actions were almost unbelievable. Stories circulated among the troops about his incredible bravery. By the time the war ended, Audie Murphy had become the most decorated American soldier of World War II. He had earned every medal imaginable, including the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest award for valor. He had become a symbol of American courage, a testament to the extraordinary things ordinary people can achieve when faced with unimaginable adversity. But the medals and accolades only told part of the story. Beneath the surface of the war hero, Audie Murphy carried deep scars, both visible and invisible. He struggled to reconcile the adulation he received with the horrors he had witnessed. Adjusting to civilian life was a difficult transition. The world celebrated him as a hero, but he carried the burden of survivor's guilt. He struggled with insomnia, nightmares, and flashbacks. What we now recognize as post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, was a constant companion, a shadow that followed him long after the war ended. He tried to find solace in Hollywood, where he became a successful actor, often playing himself in war movies. But even fame and fortune couldn't erase the memories of the battlefield. He was a hero to the world, but inside, he was still fighting a war that never ended. This duality, the celebrated hero and the haunted veteran, is key to understanding Audie Murphy. His story isn't just about medals and glory. It's about the hidden battles fought long after the war is over. It's about the price of courage, the weight of responsibility, and the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome even the most unimaginable horrors. He tried to lead a normal life. He married and had children. He raised horses and was a successful businessman, but the war was always there just below the surface. It shaped his relationships, his decisions, and his entire outlook on life. The war never truly left him. It's a tragic, inspiring, and ultimately a very human story that deserves to be told, not just for what he achieved, but for what he endured. And it's essential to understand his hidden battles to even begin to comprehend what he may have wanted to tell us from beyond the grave. Audie Murphy. The name conjures images of unwavering courage. A baby-faced soldier defying impossible odds, a Hollywood icon bathed in the golden light of fame. But beneath the polished surface of the legend lies a story far more complex, riddled with shadows and whispered questions that demand to be re-examined. For decades, we've accepted the narrative. A Texan farm boy rises to become the most decorated American soldier of World War II, transitions seamlessly into a successful acting career, and tragically dies in a plane crash at the young age of 45. A clean, inspiring tale. But what if the story we've been told is only half the truth? What if the true legacy of Audie Murphy is not one of uncomplicated heroism, but a testament to the enduring scars of war and the secrets a nation chooses to bury? The recent discoveries surrounding his tomb have ripped open a long-sealed wound, exposing raw nerves and forcing us to confront uncomfortable realities. The faded combat division patch, a seemingly innocuous artifact, hints at the fierce battles that forged him. But the mysterious medal, bearing unknown symbols, whispers of clandestine operations, shadowy alliances, and covert groups erased from official records. Was Audie Murphy involved in missions so sensitive, so dangerous, that their existence was deliberately obscured? And then there's the letter. Written in his own hand, it speaks of shadow campaigns, missions so classified that those who participated were sworn to silence. A silence meant to extend beyond the battlefield, beyond life itself. He describes victories measured not in accolades, but in the chilling effectiveness of their secrecy. Failure, he wrote, meant not merely death, but complete and utter erasure from history. But the most unsettling aspect of the letter is its chilling prophecy, its warning about the future. Murphy cautions that America's greatest threat will not come from foreign adversaries, but from within. He warns that if a nation forgets the pain, the sacrifice, and the enduring scars carried by its heroes, it will slowly crumble. Courage alone, he wrote, cannot save a country that abandons those who bled for it. These are not the words of a triumphant war hero, but of a man haunted by the fragility of freedom, acutely aware of the price paid to secure it, and deeply fearful that the cost might be forgotten. These discoveries have reignited old suspicions, particularly surrounding the circumstances of his death. For years, the official explanation, a plane crash caused by poor weather and pilot error, has been accepted without question, but anomalies persist. Witnesses near the crash site reported inconsistencies, wreckage scattered far beyond the main impact zone, flight paths that seemed illogical, and a sudden, inexplicable radio silence. Individually, these details could be dismissed as minor discrepancies, but viewed in the context of the unearthed letter and the mysterious metal, they take on a sinister hue. Was Audie Murphy's death truly an accident, a tragic twist of fate? Or was it a carefully orchestrated event, designed to silence a man who knew too much, who carried secrets that threatened the powers that be? It's a question that hangs heavy in the air, demanding to be explored. Beyond the battlefield, Audie Murphy faced his own personal demons. He struggled with what we now recognize as PTSD, haunted by the horrors he witnessed during the war. The invisible wounds of combat manifested in broken marriages, financial troubles, and explosive outbursts. He was a man wrestling with his inner demons, a far cry from the idealized hero the public adored. His refusal to endorse alcohol and cigarette brands, despite his financial struggles, reveals a man of unwavering principle. He understood his influence, particularly on young people, and refused to compromise his moral compass for personal gain. It's a testament to his character, a reminder that even in the midst of personal turmoil, he remained committed to his values. The courtroom drama, the battery and assault charges paint a troubling picture, a stark contrast to the image of the clean-cut war hero. But perhaps it's a reminder that even heroes are flawed, that they grapple with anger, frustration, and the lingering effects of trauma. The incident, though shocking, adds another layer of complexity to his story, making him more human, more relatable. Audie Murphy was a complex individual, a man who defied easy categorization. He was a war hero, a Hollywood icon, a poet, a songwriter, and a man haunted by his past. To understand his legacy, we must delve beyond the surface, examine the shadows, and confront the uncomfortable questions that have been buried for far too long. We must ask, what secrets did Audie Murphy carry to his grave? What warnings did he try to convey? And what are we as a nation willing to do to honor the true legacy of this extraordinary yet deeply troubled man? The answers may not be easy to find, but they are essential if we are to truly understand the whispers from the tomb and the profound lessons they hold for us today.